Good morning. I didn't, once again, did not get out as early as I wanted to. Okay, but it's 8 o'clock. I wanted to come out at 6 o'clock because usually during the week, from 8 to 10, it like massively slows down. But here's to hoping we get at least 2 orders. I can spark till about 10:30 this morning. And then I have to do the school run and take a nap because I work night shift tonight. Welcome to day 18 of Vlogmas. All right, let's go see if we can get some orders. It looks like everything's kind of busy, but that means nothing. All right, I just got to Walmart. I accepted a curbside order, 3 drop-offs for $22.52. So they just marked it that it was ready to be loaded up. So we'll see. We'll get loaded up and get it delivered. All right, we are all loaded up. So let's go. It actually seems to be like a really easy delivery to or one item, and there wasn't much in the back. So let's go. So that one is done. I confirmed arrival at 8:20. I did my last drop off at 8:57. I drove 11 miles. I accepted that for $22.52. So the first 2 houses were actually in the same neighborhood. I love when that happens. Sometimes I wish they could put more in there and just you could hit up a neighborhood. But so yeah, so I accepted a shopping order. It was $13, $11 trip earning, $2 tip. That last one, $9.62 was trip earnings, 95 cents was extra earnings, and then there was a tip of $11.95. I'm gonna run in here. I accepted this one. It was only 2 miles, and it's a little bit of items, and it looked like majority of them were produce, so it's not even about going all over the store. So let's run in real quick and grab this, get this delivered. We may actually be able to do 3 orders this morning. There was a lot of offers, but a lot of the offers just really weren't great pay, or there was a couple that were okay, but it was just at a Walmart that was way too far away. So let's go. All right, that order is done. Confirmed arrival at 9:12. I did my drop off at 9:37, so not bad at all. Accepted it for $13. $11 was trip earnings, $2 was tip, and then I drove 4 miles. I'm just gonna stay here for a few minutes and see if anything comes across that I feel like I can possibly do before school run, but it is 9:47, so we may call it a day. But all right, now for our Dear Diary series. Today, we're talking to the customers, dear customers. And I feel like this is going to be fitting for any type of delivery that you get, whether it is Walmart orders, DoorDash, Uber, FedEx, UPS, the post office, whatever. Anything that delivers to your house, pizza delivery, or if you have to call 911. Please make sure your houses are clearly marked with your house number. Your house, your mailboxes, whatever. It amazes me at how many houses and mailboxes are not marked at all. And then people get upset when things aren't delivered to their house, and it's a mess. I've been seeing it posted a lot in groups. Please make sure that your houses are clearly marked. 2, if you order something and you know it's going to be delivered in the dark, please turn on your porch light. It is already hard enough to find houses in the dark, but it makes it even harder to find houses in the dark when your porch light isn't on. Also, if your house is marked and your house number is on your house and you don't have your porch light on, we're not going to be able to see it. So please, if you order something and it's going to be delivered in the dark, please make sure that you turn your porch light on. 3, make sure that your walkway is clear. Clear of toys, clear of dog poop, clear of anything that we could trip over, chairs, stuff like that. We're gonna have our hands full. We're trying hard not to make trips back and forth. So we're gonna carry as much as we possibly can. And we would like to have a safe walkway to be able to get to your property, to get to your porch, to drop off your stuff. Number 4, if you have animals, please make sure that you put your animals up. It just makes for a smoother delivery for us if we're not having to deal with dogs and stuff. I get that you think that your dog is friendly, and your dog may be friendly, but we never know when dogs might turn and a stranger is at your house and stuff like that. So if you know that you've ordered something, please just put your dogs up. People do have fear of dogs and animals and everything. And so just put your dogs up. It makes it easier. And then last but not least, do not be afraid to put in the notes section where your house is, especially if you are an apartment. Now, one thing we have here, and I assume this is probably going to be everywhere, you'll have apartment buildings that have 2 entrances. Sometimes there's 2 entrances on the front, sometimes there's 2 entrances on the side, sometimes they all ultimately connect, and sometimes they don't. Put what side of the building you live on. Hey, I'm in apartment X, Y, and Z. Go in the right side, go in the left side. We would really appreciate it. If you know that your building number is not marked with the building number, put in there what building it is. Let us know. Hey, 10th house on the right. If you have a hidden driveway, I went to a place one day. It was a cul-de-sac. All you saw was 4 driveways. You didn't see any houses, and all the mailboxes were clustered together. And that's another thing. Make sure your mailboxes are marked. I know I mentioned it earlier, but make sure your mailboxes are marked, because not all mailboxes are in front of houses. And I'm sure it would make it easier for the post office people to deliver stuff if your mailboxes are marked as well. But I had no clue which way to go. There was no instructions. Google that's a thing of its own. Maybe I need to do a Dear Google Maps. Do that. Please put notes in there to help the drivers. It does make the world a difference. If you have an access code to get into your apartment, make sure you put that. Make sure that your phone number is updated in the system. I have called people and their phone numbers are disconnected. Yes. Oh, and I want to add another thing. So I think this makes number 6. If you have a shopping order, you know that we are shopping, one of 2 things. If you aren't going to accept the substitutes, put no substitutes, because it will let us bypass it. If we pick a substitute, typically it's not going to let us know until the end of our shopping trip that you rejected that substitute. So if you're going to reject substitutes, go ahead and mark no substitutions when you place your order. But also be near your phone, because when we text you, we don't have a lot of time to wait for you to respond. And we can't really move on to the next item and wait till you respond and come back to that item. So if you know that someone is shopping for you, please be at your phone, have your ringer on, so that you know when we message you, so that you can respond in a timely fashion. And then last but not least, making thing number 7, is, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, and I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, and that's okay. Tipping can go a long way with your order. There are a lot of people out here who are not going to accept your order if there is no tips. So you're going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. I've seen orders sit for close to an hour because Walmart is offering a low pay to have it delivered, and the mileage is high. Take into consideration that we're doing something for you to help you out. We're having your groceries delivered. You don't have to go and pick it up. You're not putting wear and tear on your car to do it, especially if we're shopping for you, especially if you live way far out, or especially if you order a bunch of heavy stuff. Take all that stuff into consideration. I am amazed at how often people don't tip. And I know that tipping culture has gotten out of hand with certain things, but in general, my rule of thumb is if you are actually providing me a service, if you are saving me from having to do something else, you deserve a tip. You deserve a tip. So I get that some people truly are on an extremely fixed budget and they don't have wiggle room to tip, or they can only tip $1, or they can only tip $2, or whatever. We appreciate that. There are some people who tip large tips, but just be mindful of that. Be mindful of what you're ordering and what you're asking us to deliver. You also know where you live. You know if we're not able to park close to your house. You know if it's a long walk and a lot of steps to your house and you've ordered 150 items, and so it's going to be multiple trips and stuff like that. Keep that stuff in mind. I promise you, Walmart, for us to do what we're doing, the pay is not really that good, and sometimes the only thing that justifies certain orders is the tips. So keep that in mind. I hope this helps, gives you something to think about. But if you take nothing away from this video but one thing, it is to please have your house clearly marked so that people can find you. If you are a driver, if you are a delivery driver, I don't care if you do Spark, DoorDash, any of these things, Uber or Lyft or anything like that, what are some things that you wish customers would do, or what are some of your pet peeves? I would love to hear them, because maybe I forgot some of them. And if you're a customer, check the comments, see what people have said that will ultimately make you a better customer. Because sometimes I feel like we stay busy in life and there's just little things in life that we don't think about, and some of these things are those to say, oh, you know, I never thought about that. You know where your house is, the rest of the world doesn't. So be mindful of that. That is it for today's video, guys. I think I'm gonna call it quits. Nothing has come across. So here's the final numbers for today. I only worked for like an hour and 15 minutes. The grand total was $35.52. Trip earnings was $21.57 of that, and $13.95 was tips. Total mileage driven today was 22 miles. And so my mileage broke down to $161 a mile, and then $26.01 was my breakdown for my hourly pay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 19. We're getting so close to Christmas, guys. So close to Christmas.